Hello, warriors. How are you? I hope you're having a great day. Listen, I have a real quick message for you. It is Motivation Monday. So, it's so interesting to me how you can learn when you're open, how you can learn a lesson from pretty much anything. So, a couple of weeks back, a client was sharing with me how she doesn't like conflict and she's always trying to avoid arguments, and by doing so, she would just kind of shut down. She won't share what she's feeling at that moment. And she was sharing how she felt like that, it was a problem not only in her personal life with her spouse, but also at work, how she would just tend to shut down when people start to argue or start to, express themselves in an uncomfortable way. And so, as most of you know, I was thinking about this conversation and I shared some things with her, but I was thinking of more ways and how I can help her. And it's so ironic. Most of you know that I had a cold last week, and you can probably still hear it a little bit now. I'm still a little bit nasally, but I had the cold and it was a particularly tough one. And all of us, women particularly, men too, how we would tend to push ourselves, So I'm going to work, I'm doing everything I need to do, and when I'm in the classroom or when I'm in my office, I'm trying to cover my sneezes and my coughs a little bit. And I have this thing, for me, when I get sick, I tend to want to sneeze and cough at the same time, and it's just such a terrible feeling, and it's so violent, it's so loud, and it hurts. And when I was in the office or when I'm in the classroom, I was trying to cover that. I was trying to, I don't want people to think I'm dying or, just to disrupt life. And so I would hold it in. And what I did was, of course, we're all internet doctors, right? I start feeling this pain all over my chest, all over my arms, in my rib cage. And of course, I Googled it, looked it up, and it said that I probably sprained a muscle, right? From trying to hide or hold in the coughs and the sneezes. And it is just super, super painful. So what's the point here, Dr. White? What's the point here, Coach T? So when I was thinking about my client, I was thinking about what I was sharing with her, how detrimental it can be to hold your feelings in, how detrimental it can be to hold in how someone is making you feel, right? For the sake of peace, for the sake of not arguing, for the sake of you don't want conflict, right? But who is it hurting at the end? At the end, it's only hurting you. You're the one that's dealing with the pain. You're the one that's dealing with the frustration. You're the one that's dealing with not voicing how you feel. So today, I just want to share with you how important it is to be transparent, to be open about how you're feeling. Now, I'm not saying you have to yell and scream and argue. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, you do have to get it out. You do have to express yourself. When someone makes you feel uncomfortable, when someone upsets you, when someone frustrates you, it's important to share how they made you feel. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now, as I tell my students, there's always a way to do things. And so maybe you don't want to do it in the moment. Sometimes it takes doing it in the moment, but maybe you don't want to do it in the moment. Maybe you want to wait till you calm down, but you always want to validate yourself by letting people know when they have hurt you, by letting people know there's something that you don't appreciate, by letting people know that, hey, that's not okay. You're violating my space. You're violating my peace. You're violating who I am and what I stand for. You're violating my integrity. There's absolutely nothing wrong with expressing yourself, because what's going to happen is that you're going to keep it in, you're going to keep it in, you're going to keep it in, and one day you're going to blow up, and you're going to do it at the wrong time or at the wrong person. The other thing that can happen is when these folks who are violating you, who are hurting you, who are frustrating you, they go on with their life and they're living their best life, and you're the one that's left there hurting and frustrated and wounded, right? So, the same thing goes with me. I'm the one sitting here today, in pain and, dealing with the frustration, dealing with the pain of not letting that out. And so I just thought that was such a good analogy to share with you guys, that the lessons of transparency, the lessons of expressing yourself, that it is perfectly okay. You are a human being, you are an individual, and you have a right to let people know when they are encroaching upon your integrity, upon your standards, upon who you are as a person. So God bless you today. I hope you will take this little lesson. I absolutely learned a lot from it, and I hope that you will walk in power. Have a wonderful week.